Good afternoon everybody, I'm the Ragnarok Ranger. This is the Ragnarok Theory. Been away on holiday, bushcraft show, visiting castles, all sorts of stuff. So other than the walking videos that I got to put up, I've not had time to fit out in. And then as you can hear, I'm still full of it. It's either hay fever or something I've come down with. If it's managed to clear up by tomorrow and I get a fine day, I'm hoping to finally get across to the woods just for a couple of hours, get that review done on the one Tigris backwood. That one's hanging over me like a doomsday clock at minute because I've just not had time to get there. But today we're going to be looking at a little item I picked up down at Bushcraft show. Right, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Good afternoon folks. Okay, highlight of the Bushcraft show for me again was listening to Lofty Wiseman, John Lofty Wiseman. If in the survival community you don't know who this man is, then you don't know anything. I'm sorry. This guy, 26 years as a professional soldier, ran the survival school for the SAS, for God's sake, right? And in 1986 released the original SAS Survival Handbook, which anybody who's worth the salt in survival's got a copy of that still on the shelf somewhere. So it's in so many formats now, and it's still so valid. And it's like everything, survival tins, everything all stem from that, let's be honest. Anyway, great to listen to Lofty chat again, just reminiscing about pals that he's now lost that he served with in SAS and stuff. And yeah, time moves on, it certainly does. Anyway, never in my 6 years, or one of the lads I worked with 10 years, he did with British forces, and we never got issued a survival kit. Right, we made his own. However, on this stall, survival kit individual. Okay, I saw this. You can see I've not opened it. The intent was always to open it and review it. Have I seen anything inside it? Yes, I'm not going to lie. Right, because there was one open, but I wasn't pulling it all out. So I had a bit of a look. I thought, interesting, because I saw something in there that actually looks like it could be a good idea to pack with me. But I'll say straight away, don't rush out and try and find this and buy it if you've got any issues with gluten, peanuts, milk, soya. Right, this is not based on vegetarianism, or I can't even say that, I'm on kind of vegetarianism. I've just made a new word up again. Yeah, and obviously for anybody with celiacs or any kind of gluten intolerance, the food content in here is obviously not going to be any good for you. So let's get into it. Let's have a look what they reckon. I don't know if this is standard issue in British Army or if they're just saying that to sell it. It looks official with what's wrote on the labels, if you can see, but you know, anyone can print a label, can't they? So if you've seen these before, let me know. I still don't think I've been conned. We'll have a look what's in it before I decide that. So okay, it's not a bad pouch. It doesn't really tell you what it's made of, but it is some kind of cordura. It does feel quite sturdy. It's waterproof, and it's got belt loops on it, so you can carry this separate from the rest of your kit, which is obviously always going to be a sterling idea with a survival kit. Just velcros there, and then it just opens up, and initially there's just two sides to the pack. So I'm just going to put it onto the table. I'm going to start down in this bottom pack, then I'll move up to this pack. I'll just take out items one at a time, show you what it is, and see what you think. It does have a little turn back there again where you could possibly put something. So like I say, I've not really know what's in this kit properly. It's made by BCB, and I do know that you know, they a lot of stuff they go on about is for the British Army, so you don't know, it's got quite substantive instructions with it, emergency reports on back. I mean, to be honest, let's not lie, some of these diagrams are taken straight out of Lofty's book. I think they've been plagiarising a bit here, haven't they? And it's got a 19 centimetre measure there, which can be quite useful, I suppose. And for some reason you've been given 2 sets of instructions. Alright. Yep, just identical, but you've got, whatever reason, you've got 2 sets of them. So it gives you 2 emergency report cards and 2 medical assessment cards into a piece of paper in there as well. Yeah, quite good. Okay, we've all seen these before. Yeah, emergency blanket, solid, can't go wrong with them. Price wise, you can pick them up for like £1 each now, can't you? You know what I mean? It's but yeah, they are good, and if a kit this size, you would be expected to see an emergency blanket in there. Okay, what we got here? Okay, waterproof notebook, right in the rain. It's got a pencil attached. Yeah, I've got loads of waterproof notebooks and stuff, and they are good. Okay, it's got some information on the inside, and it's got a 10 centimetre rule on the outside, or a 4-inch rule on both sides. So you've got an 8-inch or a 20 centimetre rule on the outside as well. You can put all your name and everything on this one if you want. It's just lined paper, of this waterproof paper. So yeah, I've not seen this particular style before. So bearing in mind what you'd pay for one of the ones that have got, you're looking at like £2 or £3. So you've probably got a £5 there. We're having to print them and just the pouch. So it's probably worth its money. Shaving cream. I'm starting to believe that this could be military now, because they've actually given you a blooming razor and some shaving cream because they want you to shave. That's actually nonsense now. The British Army are not required to shave if they don't want to in field and that. I was talking to a lad from Royal Engineers at a Bushcraft show, having to go on the BB range, and he were filling me in on some more up-to-date stuff. And that's everything in that bottom pouch. Okay, folks. Oh, I see what they've done. Right, I'll leave that well last then. I'll come back to that, because I don't know if that's complete or... Right, so I've got some tweezers, and I've got 1 pre-prepared snare. It's quite a good feeling snare, is that. Yeah, so that's always good to have. I tend to make my own. Sorry, I may have to keep drinking hydration fluid just to keep my voice a bit softer for you. And then we come across some first aid kit. So you got 4 little steady wipes, 6 little steady wipes, a lot of steady wipes. 6, 8. You've got 10 water purity tabs, sterilisation tabs, never lost. Yeah, gives you instructions of how to use them if you've never used them before, because the sodium hypochlorite now, I don't believe they use calcium hypochlorite anymore, which is what we use to purify water in Engineers. And then a little pack of plasters. So basic, but yep, you know what I mean. It's kind of what you're going to expect. And then before I move back to the item I took out, this is where you've probably got the problem, because these are, I believe, barley sugar. Okay, now that's actually really good energy. They've stuck 4 of these in here, and as soon as I've seen them, I've just thought, actually that's probably not a bad thing to have on you, for that quick energy boost. So yeah, I will try one at some point to see what they're like. I ain't going to do that on camera in case I go frizzly. Okay, and so then the next thing that I actually put to one side then and didn't show you, if you can actually get the lid off. I actually expected this then to be branded BCB, because it's their pouch. The lid is actually stuck here, but it's actually a Survivl tin. So I'll go through contents, then I'll worry about getting the lid separated from that. But that's not good, because if that knacks the tin up, you're a bit stuff. It's a wire saw, bang on. I absolutely value wire saws, think they're brilliant. Okay, what we got here? Okay, we've got a little signal mirror, again, really good. I've got quite a few of them for probe cover, Johnny, Durex, whatever you call them. Will hold quite a lot of water, blah 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 blah. I would not put these in survival kits anymore unless you want your water to taste like that spermicide fluid stuff they've put all over it. These days you can actually get like little fold up bags for carrying water and stuff like that, but I'll just end up throwing that away, and I'll just swap that out with a bag. Don't recommend them anymore. Little tea light candle, yeah, again it's kind of standard that you see in kits. Again, personally, I'll be getting chucked out and I'll be putting a little light in there, right? Because these days you can just get little lights, which don't make them obsolete, but I just think they take a lot of space up in the tin. If you did want to keep it, you could always cut it down into a little square, wrap in it a bit of cling film, right? Because once you light it, at least you have got a flame for a while to try not to get something burning, I suppose. But won't be my first choice to put in a tin these days. BCB survival matches. Does it say how many you actually get? Strikers on top of these ones. Got a tiny little bit of fluff in the top that we'll use as tinder. What does it say anyway? Oh, 25. But to be honest, these are running at about £9 on Amazon a minute for a tub of these. So yeah, that's a good haul of them. Okay, a tampon. I'll just spend a minute talking about tampons because they have uses. Okay, really good for starting fire, especially if you were to melt some wax onto it from your little candle if you keep it in there. Do not attempt to use this to treat wounds, right? People say, oh yeah, if someone's got a hole in there and stuff, you cannot, right? When you're trying to apply pressure to a wound and you're packing a wound, you need to put a knot on the bottom, you need to find where the wound is, you need to try and put some pressure against that. Just stuffing a Tampax into an injured person, yeah, it looks like it's stopping the blood because it's soaking a lot of it up, it's not stopping the blood and they're just dying, right? So very serious. Do not try to use these in a first aid situation, right? If you need any backup on that, look up Prep Medic. It's a guy I watch as well as North American Rescue, right? And he does quite a lot of in-depth stuff on there. He goes on about Tampax and that, and they do not do what people think in a first aid situation. Fire lighting, they might help you a little nosebleed. Or if you're a female, yep, they've got a certain use, haven't they? Okay. Oh, so you got some decent sized weights and sinker and stuff and fishing line and a few hooks in there, so that's quite a heavy little fishing kit, to be honest, because them weights are big. They're not the size I'd normally carry, but you've got them, yep, so you've got a chance of catching some fish. Fire steel, striker and a magnesium block. Yeah, it makes good sparks. Because I've got one like this now, I would use it. You scrape the magnesium onto your tinder like your cotton wool or something. When you hit it, it helps it burn a bit better. I don't bother with them normally. I just think it takes up a lot of space, a Maggie block. So it's not something I'd normally put into a tin, and that's what this has come out of. I can already see some things in here that I can take some things out and put other things in to make that quite a good tin just out of what they've got in here. Safety pins, yeah, okay, I never put safety pins in anymore. There's other things you can put in. Oh, that's a sterile blade, like a razor type blade. So that's your option they give you for cutting. Yep, okay, yeah, I've got a little saw blade on this. That ain't going to cut much down. But it's there, it's somewhat sharp. Oh, you got two of them as well. So, a little sewing kit. To be honest, it's like this kind of thread. The stuff I'm putting in my kit is, I mean, it's like leather thread. It doesn't snap. This stuff's just a bit pointless, so I'll probably take that out, change it out. other than the most minute little compass I've ever seen in my life. Okay, let's see if it actually works. No. Right, so the compass don't work, so absolutely pointless that being in. If you're in a life-saving situation and you need a compass, this ain't going to get you there. You can mess about with it and try and like, yeah, it's just gone. I'll have to put something different in. Or what I might do is take some of these stuff out and see what I can swap out of my own tin that I carry and put some of this in instead and pack the rest into the kit. So I've got a tin, I've got a kit, yeah. Things you can do, but that's tragic. You shouldn't be putting a compass in anything that doesn't work, BCB. It's a life-saving device. You know it, we know it. That's tragic. Right. It looks like it has got some tape around outside, which is what's holding that lid so tightly in place at the moment. So that's probably to close the tin lid back up with when you yeah, that's, you know, it's just right. Is it worth 10 quid, which is what I paid for it? It is, but the reason you've got this for a tenner at the show is because it's 31st at 1st 2025. Right, so when I look round, I'm thinking what could possibly be no use after that date, and obviously maybe the barley sugar. Could be the condom, depending why you were going to use the condom, couldn't it? You know what I mean? But the first aid, yeah, 1st 2025. Personally, it don't bother me that much. It's only just out of date, and to be honest, they're blooming plasters, mate. It's better than not having one. Yeah, 2026 for wipes and that. 2027 for water purity tabs. Yes, so to be honest, worth a tenner. Couple of stuff in there that I'm not that happy with, but you know, there's other stuff in there that, yeah, it's quite a good kit. Don't know what you'll think. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Remember, we do not prepare to survive, we prepare in case we survive. Survival is an instinct is everything.